Welcome to Digital Marketing for Contractors, a podcast for home improvement contractors to help you crush your lead goals and take your business to the next level. Join us each episode as we give you powerful insights and practical tips on the best digital marketing strategies to help you grow your home improvement business. Let's get started.
Hello, and welcome to Digital Marketing for Contractors. This is a podcast hosted by Fat Cat Strategies. We are a full-service digital marketing agency located in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we work with home improvement contractors just like you to help you drive leads, grow your business, and generate sales. My name is Janet. I am the founder and managing partner, and I have Caitlin Noble here with me today. She is another partner in the firm. Super excited about that. And we have Andrew Martin with Marlimar.
We said we weren't going to do it, and we
said
did it,
I wasn't
Andrew.
going to say it wrong, and I did it. So everybody can blame me for the rest of this podcast.
We're so excited to have you on.
I'm going to toss it to Caitlin,
Yes.
and she's going to take it away from here.
Yep, and we're going to talk over each other too. We're not only talking about your service today and what you guys do, Andrew, but we're going to talk about texting and the future of really a lot of technology in the home improvement industry. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you guys do?
So Marlimar has been in the home improvement sector industry for about 14 years.
Yeah.
We've been called the OGs of texting and home improvement. And really where that began was we saw a gap. We saw where people weren't answering the phone, and there was this chase. And that chase really can be solved in a simple form by using text message. Now, it's evolved over the years, and by no means is Marlimar the only texting solution in home improvement, but we do pride ourselves in being very comprehensive from when that lead is set all the way through the whole lead cycle, the life cycle of the client, all the way to, hey, let's resell them for other services. So we're very proud of ourselves for serving the home improvement industry for many years, and we look forward for more success in the future.
Absolutely. I know when we started to get really into the home improvement industry almost 10 years ago, we would go to shows, and I mean, even
we always saw you guys.
Yeah, we always saw you guys, and even some of our original Bath clients who've gone on to sell and do amazing, bigger things, they would say Marlimar, and we would be like, what? And we'd be Googling, what is this? So it's such an honor to have you and just to talk to you today about texting. So let's kind of dive into it. I mean, 14 years ago, things were totally different, I think, in terms of how we use the phone. Maybe.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I started, so Fat Cat is 23 years old. And, you know, our early days were in newsletters for, you know, different industries. And then our first home improvement clients that we got, we would do drip campaigns, but we would do them on postcards.
Sure.
You know, our first clients were using Market Sharp, and they would meet somebody at a home show. And then as the agency partner, we would start hitting that homeowner with 6, 8, 10 postcards over 18 months. Now, texting is one way to do a drip campaign. But why don't you tell us a little bit more about when you start to onboard a new client, how do you guide them if they've never had texting as part of their communication channel for marketing? How do you guide them? How do you onboard them? How do you tell them about best practices and make sure that you're compliant with any regulations?
So number one, when you're making a decision to use this channel to communicate, just keep in mind, all you're doing is connecting with the consumer where and how they communicate. They're texting their family, they're texting their friends before they make calls, even during the day. So as a company, it would be we would be snobs to think that somebody's actually going to take our call if we haven't texted before. And so we have a transparent methodology to try to get through to the client. And that transparency is, let's be genuine, let's be real, let's use our phone number, let's use our logo, and let's meet that client where they communicate, how they communicate, and the way they want to. And that way is to put a first impression that's service-based And then that first impression, if it's speed to lead, if it's just follow up after a form has been filled out on the website, those are very important. That first impression makes a big difference. Then it turns into the service. And that service is if they set an appointment, you send them a, hey, you own this text. That's a set appointment reminder. And then if you have a confirmation call day before and you want to talk to that client, send them a text that says, hey, we have an appointment tomorrow. We'd like to discuss your upcoming appointment. Yeah. And not in those words exactly.
Right.
But seriously, that will get your confirmation rate up. And then the day of the appointment, show them who's coming to the door. Send them, at the very least, send them a picture of the sales rep. They're vulnerable. They're scared. They're putting a stranger in their house. And anything we can do to raise that salesperson and their success. And then we can also put information in that text about the company. Anything that they can do to learn more and feel comfortable about your home improvement company, we want to help you promote that.
What are the list of CRMs that you integrate with?
The answer is everyone.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing. Not all APIs into softwares are created the same. Now, an API, application protocol interface, is the eyes, ears, and mouth of a software. Mm-hmm. And we want to connect in all of those ways, but not all softwares have ears.
Right.
And so
I'm sorry, I think it's BuilderTrend.
Sure.
Which one doesn't have?
So BuilderTrend's a great example of what we can do creatively.
That's
okay.
Right. There you go.
On top of,
they don't have an easy door to get into.
No.
Right. So, but they do have reporting.
That's
And
right.
so if I can receive reports, I can then build messaging to that report. And if that report has dates and occurrences and items on it, I can build automated messaging to those reports. It's a pretty slick way to get around a lack of an API. And then, and it takes a little extra work, but here's the deal. We don't mind doing the extra work because in the end, what happens is our clients get a great solution.
Yes.
If you can allow me to be a nerd for just one more second on this, not picking on BuilderTrend, but from an agency perspective, if we have a client that's using BuilderTrend, we build them a website and we put some sort of form on there. Mm-hmm. We have the same challenge that you do, that lack of an integration. We haven't figured out yet how to real time insert like a form fill into BuilderTrend because they haven't given us an easy API. With your example where you get somebody to export a report, so then you're getting first name, last name, phone number, and maybe a little bit of information about that homeowner.
It's just little pieces of a message, and we put the message together.
And so once you start sending messages, do you have a pathway to get that back into BuilderTrend?
That is where I said not all systems have ears.
Exactly.
Correct.
And so that's
I'm being a nerd.
But look, now let's be fair.
Yeah.
BuilderTrend is a great operational tool.
I love it.
Okay. And so let's just make it a little bit better.
Okay.
And that's our approach. And so that's a great case study example of where
you guys having a creative workaround.
It takes it. That's what technology is all about.
Have you guys met on our podcast? We talk about levels, and the certain level home improvement company may be a level 1, smaller, off the ground, might be driving around listening to us right now in their car. A lot of them are anyways. Level 3, huge company, probably have marketing directors, etc. Level 2, kind of in the middle. I know I always want to look at Janet and talk and not look into here. Have y'all ever integrated with a company who doesn't use a CRM? Is that even possible?
It is. Yeah. Now, I use the term service very seriously in home improvement. And so we serve a lot of large companies.
Yeah.
And we serve medium-sized companies.
Yep.
But we serve them all locally.
Yep.
Now, this is important for, and I don't want to say the small guy. Okay. This is important for the intimate home improvement company. Okay. Because we can serve them too. Because we're serving large corporations locally, we can serve smaller groups locally as well. Everyone's important. Well, that's our business model, is we want to help them grow. All home improvement companies need to grow locally to succeed, absolutely, no matter what the size is.
I like that.
Okay. And so if I can put real people in front of them and serve them, that's the way that we build our business model. And look, there are no tickets at Marlimar. And when I mean tickets, I mean when you deal with a technology company, you might have to write a ticket to get a change and things like that. No, you call a person, and they know your process. They understand they understand what you're trying to do. We learn the process. We learn the story of each one of our clients, and the more we learn, the more effective we are in our messaging, and the more of the vibe we get of that company, because we want that to come across in the messaging that they send through our service.
So I'm going to take us back out a little bit, like a wider angle lens, because Caitlin and I often do this. We jump into these podcasts, we get excited about the technology, especially me. We start nerding out and asking really deep questions. Let's take a step back, and why don't you walk us through, for the listener who has never implemented text, they may have texted from their cell phone to one individual customer, but they've never done it on a broader scale, either to a list of prospects or a list of customers. Walk us through kind of the layman's example of a case study of how you would get a contractor up and running using text messaging, and walk us through like a success story.
Number one is regulatory and compliance issues. Now, all companies are really required to use text messaging in a commercial environment in a way where it is in the regulated form of having stops, having your campaigns registered with all of the regulators and with the carriers. Now, you can't do that through just a cell phone.
No.
You need to have a service set up for you. Marlimar takes that on. Okay. A lot of our friends competitors don't take that on. They say, call these people, you need to set up your campaign. Now, we do that for our clients because we want to register it and manage it the right way. Once that happens, in 2 to 3 weeks, that can take to set up. It's the longest it's ever been, because the regulators don't want text to turn into email where it's just like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
They don't want the spam and the garbage. They want people doing it the right way. Well, the more they push on us, the better we are. And so Marlimar's learned to rise above it, and we help our clients then meet their clients in a very service-driven fashion. We learn their process, their sales process. We learn their installation process. Then we learn their dreams about how do we want to promote the company in a proper manner going forward to serve their clients.
So step one for a new customer for you would be to get through that compliance segment. Make sure that they're following all the rules, checking all the boxes. And then step two, that's where you get in and you understand, here's what that owner of that contracting company wants from their business and what they want from. Yeah.
That's where the most important part comes for me. I put my ears on, and I take the components of my technology and I build it to the needs. It's a semi-customizable solution,
right?
Because I've recreated it over and over and over. I mean, it's a very customized solution, down to the I's and the T's, quite literally, because we're texting.
So give us like an kind of a sexy case study. like company XYZ was struggling to set appointments, or they were struggling with, whatever their struggles were. Like walk us through that story.
I'll name a couple.
Okay.
I'll name 3. Okay, so number 1, we'll start at the compliance.
Okay.
Compliance. There's a new rule coming now in mid-April that and it's not really a rule. It's just a new way that the FCC, FTC is looking at things. If somebody replies stop to a text, they're opted out at the carrier level. But if somebody replies quit texting me, that is not. But the FCC has asked for commercial companies to use best faith to address those quit texting me people, or you're driving me crazy, or something like that.
Go away.
We have developed AI that listens to that text and then puts it into a category, and then we can take those group of people and we can send that and have human beings actually work on those things, because it might not, they have not said stop, but they have said something negative, but they have done something interesting. They have responded. And that's the whole trick to text message, is you want to focus on eliciting a response. The response is where you make the money. Okay, so if somebody might say, I'm not ready for a project right now. Is that a stop?
No. Gosh, no.
No, but
means it could be ready in the spring.
Sure, it's a stop now.
Right.
Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take these things and we want to use our AI tools to help our clients manage that. Now, let's talk about AI just a little bit.
Let's do it.
We are firm believers in home improvement. If a human being wants to talk to a home improvement company, you don't put AI in between that. Okay, you want to have a human talk to a human. Okay, a good example is not all leads are created the same. If you have a third-party lead aggregator and you have a company over here, and they're and this, or a person here and a company here, the third-party lead aggregator is in the middle. They haven't connected. They haven't interacted with that brand. So what we want to do is we want to use AI in that one, where we can then maybe elicit a response. If they have a poor response rate in a certain lead source, then we want to use AI there to try to lift it up. But if somebody's filled out a form on your website, you might want to
interested. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to send a text that says that acknowledges them.
Yeah.
But you're not putting AI in front of them.
No.
Because you want to put a human being in front of them, because people sell to people. All right. Now, number 2 on cool case studies. I mentioned logos.
Mhm.
We had a client that's like, oh, we don't want to do logos. Immediately their set rates went down 6%.
This is a logo within the text.
Within the text.
That's right. Okay.
I'm
Cool.
going to
So-
admit being the old person in the room. Like when I think text, I think just words, not pictures.
Oh, that's one of my favorite features, which, sorry, keep going, Andrew. But yeah, like I love, like they've got amazing features. Yeah.
So you put look, you're sharing pictures and things with your friends and family on.
Yeah. In a personal text all the time.
You can
Our roofing clients, service drive sales
yes.
in roofing. And if you can get your call center to get a picture of a roof, I got a problem, my roof's leaking. If you can get somebody to say, hey, go out there and take a picture of that, they feel like they're getting instant service.
Or like, look at this rotten wood.
Yeah.
From the homeowner
Yes.
to the service provider.
Yeah.
Quote, measure my roof.
Yeah. Why is this leaking?
Yeah.
Sorry to
So
interrupt.
now another one is and this is kind of Janet, you'll like this. This is kind of old school with a new
I'm old school.
spin. So we send out mailers, okay? And there's a call to action
Right.
for them to text to set an appointment.
Love
Right.
it.
Bounce back. The bounce back is AI setting the appointment. You get text. It's just that easy. Now, it's a perfect opportunity to put AI in front of somebody because they don't know exactly if it's
Wait,
they
break
don't-
that down for the slow people on the call. So I've mailed you a postcard and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, this looks like a great offer. So
Yeah.
I get buy 10 windows, get one free.
Sure.
Text this number. You're
text,
saying
text appointment to this number
text
Right,
appointment.
exactly.
or hit this
That's
QR
when the
or
AI
hit this QR code.
That's when the AI kicks in to set that appointment.
Yeah, and then boom, it goes to the calendar and it's set.
Love it.
Now, the 40 and under group, they love it. Yeah, that one, she loves
Yeah.
it. Not this old guy.
Or
But-
this old
Because
gal.
I want to talk to a human.
Right.
Okay. But those are some areas that we're lifting, case studies, just things like that.
So I interrupted you. You were talking about logos.
Mhm.
So contractors that are reluctant to put logos in their text messages don't see the same kinds of response. Was that
Well-
what you were about to say?
What I'm saying is do you want to look like a scam, or do you want I mean, 98% of text messages are read within 3 minutes of delivery.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Who would not send their brand through that?
Oh,
Good point.
And
And
then
this one right here reads on her watch.
yeah,
I do. I got a group family message that comes in about, hospital updates because that's the age group I'm in. And I have to find my readers to look at it on my watch, but images don't come through on that.
so and then 50%. Now again, remember, you make money on response. 50% are responded to within 90 seconds.
So
Okay,
hit
so-
those two numbers again for our listeners in
great.
the truck. There's-
98% of text messages are read within 3 minutes of delivery, and 50% are responded to within 90 seconds.
Those are numbers that you can't ignore.
Now there's 3 responses. Okay, there's yes, no, and none. What's the
Okay.
worst response? None.
None.
Right.
No is not the worst response.
No,
You're
because
not-
then you know not to bother them anymore.
And you're not wasting your time. You're not wasting your resources. Okay. And yes comes in many different ways. Actually, no can come in many different ways. Not right now is not no.
Right.
Okay. You mentioned at the beginning drips,
Yep.
using mail and things like that. That's a perfect example of inviting someone into more information down the road.
That's great.
Let them say, would you like to hear from us 3 months from now? Let them opt into something.
Sure. That's one way. And then, but these are the things that I consult with
Sure.
my clients on a daily basis. The old school method of chasing people down by phone is kind of going to the wayside. The old school method of chasing somebody by email, the open rates are terrible.
Yes.
The old school method of driving people crazy via text is not appropriate.
It's,
You don't text like you email.
Right.
And so it's a waste of money. It's a waste of resources. And it's not good for your brand.
Elaborate on that a little bit. What do you mean by you don't text like you email?
Well, look, email has been ruined. And it's largely, you're lucky if you get a read. And now, here's the thing. You can send a lot of good things through email. And operationally, we might have some clients that need important things addressed in email.
right.
So if you do have that challenge of having people open emails, say you can simply send a text that said, hey, I sent you an email, please open it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the open rate, let's go back, 98%.
Right.
Okay. So then the person's like, ooh, there's something important in my email. Okay. But if you create more noise, people will turn you down. So when you text, you want to do it strategically.
And that's what you guys help
Oh, sure.
clients with. That's the whole custom
That's the
approach that I'm
experience.
taking.
That's the experience we bring to the table. And we're going to listen, and we're going to, in cases we will push back.
How much hand holding, like just to kind of reiterate it and bring it back home, like you guys get set up, how much am I as the home improvement company owner going to have to do once we're set up with all of these different text scenarios, maybe
Well,
my CRM.
The most important person is the frontline worker.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So if they have an issue, I want to hear from them. And so, but hand holding, look, we're going to train and grow and evolve with that company. Because if you're process driven, you're not going to set it and forget it. You're going to improve. And so we need to improve with you, and we need to understand, new processes that are put in place to make this better. And we're going to bring new processes to the table as well, to help, grow that business even more. A good example is strategically, how do we address business that we've done in the past, and that's the low-hanging fruit. How do we address marketing and rehash to those groups of people that know and trust us already? And so this is where I need to put my ears on and listen to, in its simplest form, segment marketing.
Yep.
And so if you have 5 different products that you bring to the table, if you've sold windows but you do all the other things,
yep,
you never text about windows again, and unless you know that you only put them on the front of the house.
That's exactly.
And so you use the data that's within your database to then form segments of sending out messaging. Now, if you, I'll just put a scenario. If you have 5,000 contacts, you don't upload and blast out 5,000 people. Okay, there's compliance issues to deal with here. Okay, but more important than that to your brand is you gotta give them value. And if you send them noise, they're going to turn you off. So what you want to do is you want to segment those where they feel special, where that message is hyper relevant to them.
On the segmenting note, it occurred to me to kind of drill a little bit deeper on that. So I understand if a contractor, a home improvement company has 3 different service lines, siding, windows, and decks. Mm-hmm. You're not going to send a window message to a homeowner that you just replaced all their windows. So you're going to segment and send them maybe a deck message. Again, to your point, a value-based, not spam. Can you further segment within a larger organization that, say, has multiple sales reps? I'm kind of making this up. I don't know that any of our clients do this, but they may. Let's say the first sales rep is the siding rep and another rep is the deck rep. Can you make it so that if someone replies, it gets routed to the right rep, to go back to your whole idea of like human to human communication, so that you're putting that homeowner who has a time sensitive question about getting a deck quote, is that text message going to go back into the CRM, or is it going to go directly to the sales rep who's been assigned to decks?
It depends on where the company wants it.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh.
And so, but what you're getting into here is rules-based algorithms and automation. Right. And we hear the term artificial intelligence. Ours is more automated intelligence.
Right.
We've been doing. The only difference between what we've seen in the past several years with AI and it going mainstream is that there has been human calculators put behind, or human language calculators put behind it, made it real. We've been doing this for years, and machine learning and things like that for years. And when I say we, I say yes, Marlimar, but we as a whole of the technology environment. We've been doing this for years. So it's just kind of coming to life in a human form now. Okay. Now, back to the segmenting. We just are firm believers that quality is more important than quantity. And blowing out text to people indiscriminately is bad business. And it's also frowned upon by the regulators.
Years ago, I'm not going to name any names. We connected with another company, not you guys, and we were working with a multi-location home improvement company. They connected with a text provider, and the owner of that home improvement company, I don't know where the communication breakdown happened, but somewhere it happened. And the text company logged into their CRM, hooked up all the APIs, and started blasting text messages to like 30,000 contacts.
Mm-hmm.
On the day when the owner of the home improvement company, he thought that was a demo day. Like, oh, I'm going to demo the software.
I had blocked that out.
Yeah, you blacked that out. Like it was so emotionally traumatic.
Because they call the marketing agency, because we obviously had
and we're there and we're trying to help, and we also thought it was a demo,
right?
And suddenly the call center is bombarded with this like tsunami of responses to these poorly planned, no strategy text. Spam blast.
Correct.
I don't know what made me think of that, but what made me think of it is everything you've said on this podcast is the opposite of that. And I love it.
Same.
I love that your approach is not this, shotgun blast the universe with,
and let me put it in
messages.
And let me put it in a real smaller way here. If you have, let's just build a small environment. If you have 2 people answering the phone,
right,
and you send out 10 confirmations that say, please call me about your upcoming scheduled appointment, and you get 4 responses. I haven't gone even to the 5, which I would expect, but you get 4 responses of, and what was the call to action? Please call me.
Right.
Okay. 2 of those aren't being answered.
Correct.
Okay. So, you gotta listen.
You gotta be thoughtful about it.
You gotta listen to the needs of the clients. And here, I love saying this one. You know the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't get him to drink. If you text a horse, you can get him to drink. Okay. And here's the deal.
You better have a bucket of water ready.
Yeah, but here's the deal. You better have the right call to action
that you're prepared to deliver on.
And if you send out a text, you better have a goal, and you better have, what's your goal? What's your call to action? Take your people on the journey. They'll come with you.
So
perfect.
Before we started recording, we were chatting a little bit with you, and you were all excited to talk about AI. I wanted to give you an opportunity. You said you've got some opinions and prognostication, whatever. Yeah, lay it on us. Where do you see AI going in the home improvement industry?
Well, I'd have to be a snob to pretty much to say this is where it's going to be, because I would probably own an island somewhere if I knew that. Okay.
Yeah,
but
same. If we knew, we'd be much more better off than we are now.
But I think what you do is you stick with your process and you don't change too much. Okay. People want to buy from people, but there's no harm in using AI strategically in the right spots to enhance low-hanging fruit. Okay. If somebody wants to speak to you, you might not want to put AI in front of them. Do you want to trick a hot lead?
No.
Probably not. And so I think a lot of the groups, a lot of technology groups that are coming in want to tout the greatness of it, and it's great. And if you don't implement it, you're going to get left behind.
Yep. Yeah.
However, stay true to yourself, stay true to your company, it's the golden rule. Treat people the way they want to be treated. or treat people the way you'd want to be treated. And then I think that you'll be able to lead yourself through this maze of AI. Now, my company, we have all in-house IT, and we build out AI solutions customizable to our client's process. Okay. That sounds like it's intimidating, expensive, and things like that. No, we just want to hear the ideas, because the best way for us to develop great home improvement tools is to listen to our clients and listen to great ideas and listen to dreams, and then we can build those things out.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're definitely experimenting with AI across the board.
You have to.
We have to. And we found its limitations for sure. It's not everything that every buzzworthy article would lead you to believe. And in some instances, you end up spending a lot more time than the gurus would lead you to believe. It doesn't necessarily save time. It can be like a power tool, but you have to know how to use it. Love the message. So tell the listeners, if they want to learn more, sign up, find out how your service works, where should they go and what should they do?
Marlimar.com, marlimar.com. You can go to our website. All you have to do is push a demo. You'll get me, you'll get Mark, our president, you'll get a live person to have a demo with. And really what it comes down to is we want to learn about you. Right. And then we want to layer our services on top of your process and see what we can do.
Fantastic.
I've been so impressed. I'm excited. I know a couple of our account managers reached out to help our own clients, better what they're doing with their services and to enhance what we're doing with Marlimar. So thank you for your time today. And I think we'll have a summary. We'll make sure all your information is linked as well on our website.
Absolutely.
In case you're driving and you can't remember how to spell it.
Okay. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Digital Marketing for Contractors. As always, we hope you got value from it. If you can give us a half an hour, we'll give you actionable tips, insights, and ideas to help you grow your home improvement company through online marketing and technology. Thanks again, Andrew. Thanks so much for joining us today.
You got it.
Digital Marketing for Contractors is created by Fat Cat Strategies. For more information, visit fatcatstrategies.com.